Hi, this is Coming to Grace, and my name is Wendy Cronin. Please like and subscribe if this resonates with you. If it does not, there are many, many inspirational speakers on YouTube, and I hope you find one that resonates with you. Today, we're going to be talking about, are you rude to yourself? Let's see if you are. I sure as heck know I was a full-on bitch to me. Okay, we're going to start here. So, do you treat yourself rudely? I know I did. What does that mean? It means I talk to myself in such a rude manner I would never in my life have spoken to anybody else that way. Ever. Why do we do that? Why do we tell ourselves things that are so rude? I can get up in the morning and look at myself in the mirror and go, oh my God, my wrinkles! My wrinkles have wrinkles! Would I ever say that to anybody else? No. Why do I say that to myself? That's not right. Do you get on the scale and go, holy shit, you're a fatso? You would never say that to anybody else. Why would you say it to yourself? Here's some things that we have to start doing. We have to start speaking kindly to ourselves. So in the morning when I look at myself in the mirror and I go, when I see all those wrinkles, maybe I buy a nicer wrinkle cream. Go, wow, you've gotten old. Every single one of those wrinkles is an experience in your life. It's a better way of looking at it. You get on the scale and you've gained some weight. Holy crap. Okay, you know what? I really want to get into that outfit by Christmas, or I want to get into an outfit by April. I think I'm going to stop drinking sodas. So instead of speaking poorly to yourself, or even when you do, because hello, I do all the time. I got to catch myself all the time. So when I start finding myself speaking to myself, right? I turn it around. Not look at you, you're poo-poo, but what can I do about that? This is bothering me. What can I do about it? That's coming from a place of empowerment. That's coming from a place of consciousness. So when you start consciously making decisions to change the way that you talk to yourself, your whole life is going to change. You won't even believe it. I am not kidding. I have had almost 2 years of speaking kindly to myself. Before, I would just put myself down constantly, and was not even aware of it. You know, it was just such a pattern with me, and it was such something that I did all the time that I wasn't even aware that I was doing this to myself. Excuse me, I'm itchy. So I would get a thought in my mind like, geez, Wendy. This is what I was told, okay, all the time. You're too much. You're just too much. What in the hell does that mean? I'm too much what? For you? I'm too much? Okay. I'll be too much for you. But now I'm not going to be around you. You know, too much. Or too little. Not enough. Stupid. Ugly. Dumb. Bitch. Angry. These are all words that I've heard and that I've told myself. Anything that anybody else has told me is nothing compared to what I've told myself. Every time I started telling myself these things, I'd stop myself and I'd go, okay, Wendy, You're right. You are 59, you've got lots of wrinkles. Um, Wrinkle cream? Facelift? I don't know. But there's something that I could do about it. Another thing is how I interacted with people. In one of my videos, I told you I used to be the queen of poop. Wanted to be everybody's, I was on a self-imposed throne where I felt that I could do everything for everybody else better. That was a lie I was telling myself. And when I started to go do those things, I would look at a friend of mine, and I actually recently did this, okay? So a friend of mine was having a problem, and I saw the problem, and they didn't want to see the problem. They didn't want to see it because they didn't want to recognize it. They didn't want to have to deal with the problem. They're like, no, I don't want to see it. Okay. Well, I felt it was my duty to tell him what the problem was. It wasn't my duty to tell him what the damn problem was. My duty was to sit there and to talk to him and listen. That was my duty. Duty. Yeah. Anyway, get that one? That was cute, right? So I became aware of what I was doing, and I went, oh my God, I am so sorry. You don't want to see this. I have no right to tell you about this. I'm backing off. And that's what I did. I backed off. And then a few days later, he saw what what was going on. And he completely handled the problem himself. Did not need moi. Okay. The problem that I had the most with was telling myself after that incident, I wanted to beat myself up. Okay? That would be my normal. That would have been what I would have done. I would have turned that situation over and melded it and torn it apart and picked it apart. And probably made the other person wrong and made myself right. Or probably done something stupid that wouldn't have benefited either one of us. But I looked at it, I was able to verbalize what I was doing. And this is one of my things, is when I don't know what to do, I verbalize. I just say it out loud. Oh my God, I had no right to tell you about your problem. Okay, that stopped it right there. I was able to verbalize it, I was able to handle the problem, and I was able to back off, give the person their own problems to take responsibility for, take responsibility for what I was doing and seeing what I was doing and being conscious of it and not wanting to do it again. I spoke kindly to myself that day and I said, good for you. My God, look at you, learned something. So our school of life teaches us things. And when we're rude to ourselves, we don't get to learn because we're punishing ourselves. And when you're in a place of punishment and you're in a place of feeling that you have been taken down, you're not really open to learning. So when you've done something wrong, something that doesn't benefit you, let's not use the word wrong. When you've done something that just is not going to benefit you and it's just not doing really well in your life right now and it's causing strife, when you're able to look at that and you're able to see that that thing is not working, you can stop. Don't say anything mean to yourself and go, what can I do about that problem? Can I do something about that problem? If you can, then you can start thinking about the things, the actions physically that you could take to overcome a problem. and you take those actions. And if you mess up, and if it's the wrong action, okay, you took that action. Be proud of yourself. You've done something. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for taking the action. Even if it doesn't give you the results that you want, you've moved. Now, if that action isn't the result that you want, what result did you get out of it? You might have a lesson there. You might need to learn something for you to move on to your next thing that could give you the result that you want. Maybe the result that you want isn't going to be healthy for you. Maybe the result that you want isn't the one that you should be taking because it's not your path. If you're blocked in things and things aren't working for you, you have a lesson to learn. Stop. Just stop. Don't say anything mean to yourself. Think about what's bothering you. Think about why you want to speak to yourself in such a negative manner. If you were saying these words to somebody else, what would be the emotion that you would have? Would you be angry? Would you be fearful? Would you be shocked? What is the emotion that you would have if you would say these words to somebody else? Those are the same emotions that you have towards yourself. With those emotions, you need to understand where they come from. And when you can understand that the emotion's anger, if you're angry at yourself, why? Because things didn't work out? Or because you think you made a stupid mistake? You have to follow that anger. Most anger is from fear. Fear is a lie. Fear is always a lie because it's the unknown. Fear can never be true because it hasn't happened. We can have fear of getting eaten by a shark if we slice ourselves open in the water, but it would probably be better that we don't do that. We could have fear that we'll burn our hand off if we keep it on top of a stove. We know not to do that. So you do have justified fears, but you wouldn't do those things normally. So you need to understand that about you. The fear that you have, you probably wouldn't do normally. You need to start trusting yourself and knowing that you do have your own back. Stop sabotaging yourself with your rude talk to yourself. Stop sabotaging who you are, and stop sabotaging your spirit and your consciousness. Your consciousness is what tells you what's wrong. You know talking to yourself in a degrading manner is wrong. You wouldn't do that to anybody else. So why are you doing it to yourself? You wouldn't go and tell probably 1% of the people in the world what you tell yourself. So why do you tell yourself these things? Are they motivating you? Are they making you a better person? Are they making you somebody who's fun to be around? Are you giving to the world? Are you uniting with the world when you talk to yourself like this? Or are you isolating yourself? Are you taking yourself out of the world? Are you putting yourself in a cage, putting yourself in a box? When you can look at yourself every day and love yourself and be kind to yourself, truly, truly be kind to yourself, you will see your world change. 2 years ago, I remember waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, just in a panic. My head, I'd wake up and I'd say within 5 seconds, my head was imploding. It was like Times Square. It was so horrible. And all I did was talk to myself and tell myself horrible things. And I had horrible, horrible, horrible people in my life that told me the same things, or worse. And I started believing them. And that's the most dangerous thing in the world to do. Don't believe the lies that you tell yourself. And certainly do not believe the lies that anybody else tells you. That's not your truth. When someone else tells you something, they're usually talking about themselves. If somebody else puts you down, they're usually talking about themselves. Now, I used to be 200 pounds. I used to weigh 200 pounds more than I do now. I weighed 343 pounds. I now weigh 152. So I had people, I'm not kidding you, that would literally not be next to me because I was fat. I would have people that would walk to the other side of the room to not be around me because I was fat. And to be quite honest with you, I'd mess with them, and I'd go and follow them, and just to see them move around the table or move around the world. And I'd do that just to mess with them because it was fun. Anyways, a little bit about me. I know. So I used to have people judge me all the time, call me fat, call me lazy, call me stupid. I don't know why stupid and fat seems to go together, but a lot of people like to put those two in the same category. I was constantly looked at as somebody that I wasn't. And I had all these people telling me who I was. And then I lost the 200 pounds. And then I had people telling me that I was something else again. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm still the same person. My spirit's still the same. I'm not any different. The outside of me is different, but the inside of me is still the same. And when I realized that, and when I realized how different people started treating me just because of the way I looked, it was gross, to be quite honest. It's very offensive and it's very disgusting. And it really hits home what words do. It's so sad because we have opinions about ourselves. And we tell ourselves these opinions when other people tell us them. Like if somebody called me a fat slob, I would have probably taken that home and believed it. And probably eaten it. And digested it. And had it go in my body and my spirit and my soul. And probably told myself the same thing while I was pulling out clothes the next day. So this is why it's so important that you speak kindly to yourself. Don't speak rudely to yourself. Don't speak to yourself in a manner that you would never speak to somebody else. When you're kind to yourself and you're able to stand up for you, you're able to live your truth. So, here's something I do in the morning. I go ahead in the morning, and yeah, I look at myself, and some days I go, ugh, you do look like a prune. Or, you and your dog match. Okay. And then I'll tell myself, Anne, you have a loving heart. You're one of the most compassionate people. You have two beautiful, beautiful children. You have 3 gorgeous grandkids. You have a beautiful stepson and his wife. You have an extended family. You have the partner of your dreams. And I live my life every day in the manner that I want. I choose how to live my life because I choose what I tell myself. I choose what I feed myself, mind, body, and soul. The words that I tell myself now are loving and kind. I am so far from perfect, and I don't want to be. Because guess what? You don't know what my perfect is. I don't know what my perfect is. So I have no clue what perfect is. None. And I just want to be what I am right now. That's easy. I can do that. I can love what I am right now. Because I know what I give out. I can speak kindly to myself right now. Because I know what I say is coming from my heart. When you speak to yourself, speak with yourself and talk to yourself from your heart. Understand that you need the love from you first, so you can give that love to everybody else.